Welcome everyone. My name is Shan Ali and welcome to this weekly show that's run by the Young Innovators Club. We will start we will start the show, but immediately before I go into everything, I just want to mention this is a show we'll be running weekly during these Saturdays that's talking about a club, that's going to talk about what we've been doing, and this is presented by the Young Innovators Club, and we will send you more details later. And a rundown of what's happening today is that today we will start with news about what's going on recently. Followed by that, we will have Usman, who's going to be talking about robotics. And then after that, we'll have a short interview with Shafkat and Richard Bransky, where they'll be talking about robotics, new technologies, and they'll be having a short discussion about this. After that, you'll see me hopping right back in, talking about something called CS50, which is a computer science course. And then after that, we will have some exciting news, hopefully, that will be presented by Zawiyar. And after that, that's going to be it for today's show. And there'll be a lot more stuff happening today as well. So make sure to share this and like this with other people as well. Now, I'm going to start off by moving this towards our news for today.
So Shan, thank you very much for doing the intro. Our news coming up by Xavier, sponsored by Narias Group, who are great real estate in the Sydney West. Let's bring our Xavier with the news. Let's invite the Xavier. Welcome, Xavier, and let me show the.
Thank
How are
you.
you today, Xavier?
Good, thank you. How are you? And I would like to know how the audience is. So pitch it in the comments.
Yeah, we starting. So the first one is always take heart. So I'll let you go with your news.
Yes. So the first thing that happened within the past month and the holidays was the HSC Exam Success Secrets workshop, which was held on the Tuesday, 12th of July, 10:45. We managed to record the whole workshop. So if you do want to see the workshop, you can hop into the link which is provided there. We did have some fun Kahoot times, and we did appear in the local newsletter for our workshop, which was pretty amazing and it was very reflectable on how we did on the workshop, which gave us the confidence to produce another workshop. Moving on, we also went to the City Olympic Park to get together at the Eid Milan. Um, for that, our objective was to market our Young Innovators Club, and we did get lots of parents to join and children. We did have fun events like the Big Kahoot from the treasure hunt. We gave away prizes. We had events for everyone. We had children with parents joining in a three-legged race. We had a skipping competition where adults joined in. And if you like any more feedback or the video report, the links will be in the comments.
Thank you very much. That was very nice. Thank you, Xavier. That was
No
very
problem.
nice. Especially the get together was really good. Now we going forward with the next segment, which is Shania and Shan. We are very excited about is the robotics. There's a presentation we are looking forward to from Usman. We bring the Usman up. Yeah, here we go, Usman. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How's everyone today? You guys all
Good,
right?
good. Yeah, yeah,
Good.
that's great. So let's listen. Looking
So
forward
let's
to. Yep.
let's begin.
Just give me
So
a sec.
yep, okay. So my name is Muhammad Usman, and today I'll be presenting a small presentation on Lego Mindstorms. So moving forwards. So robotics' purpose in basically is to fulfill a goal automatically. So you have compute. So robotics is a branch of computer science and engineering. The procedure that most of us will use to act and apply in robotics is we design something, then we'll construct it, and then finally we'll test it and operate it. And if it works, we'll go along with that design and apply it. So it's used in everyday life, and you guys don't, and most of us don't even realize it. For example, it's used in manufacturing, assembly, and packaging. It's also used in things like transport, mining, surgery, and laboratory research moving forwards. So these are two robots, and you can probably already notice what the one on the right is. It's the Mars rover. It's fitted with many complex sensors to help it explore and understand the hostile environment, which we call Mars. Then on the left we have a mining robot. This helped in a very risky, dangerous, and uh, labor-intensive force. It helps. It help. It helps them by reducing the risk of loss of manpower as well as lives, and it's able to analyze and find mineral deposits, as well as navigate caves. So moving forwards, our main topic is Lego Mindstorms. So we have four generations of robotics from Mindstorms. The first one, which was made in 1998, is Robotics Invention System. Extremely basic, and the next one we was in 2006 NXT. For you guys who know robotics, it's the one with the orange buttons on top. It's still pretty basic compared to the previous two. Then we have Mindstorms EV3. This is the one which most of us will see. This is most schools will use this, and this whole community is dedicated to helping with this. And the newest one, which is called Robot Inventor, was released just 2 years ago. It's still fairly new and not really that popular. Moving forwards. Finally, we're going to discuss some pros and cons of both the EV3 and Inventor. So with the Robot Inventor, we have built-in sensors, including gyro and orientation built in. It's also way more easier to charge. It has charging ports on every single size and sides, and you can use micro USBs, which are fairly available. And it's also smaller and lighter. So for those of you who make builds which are walking robots, this is very helpful. It also comes with four motors as compared to three with the EV3, and they're also better and smaller. Sensors are generally the same. However, there is a difference with the touch sensor, which is now integrated into the motor, which is debatable. Then on EV3, the EV3 is way more programmable. It has more and better support. It has communities dedicated to helping with it, while Inventor doesn't, so it'll be difficult to get support with that. It also has way more memory and processing power, and an ease of use thing is the wires on the sensors are detachable, which is just used for management. So the EV3 kit, it will come with about 600 parts, while the new Inventor one comes with approximately 1,000. And yeah, those are the main parts about Lego Mindstorms. So thanks for listening.
Thank you, Shan. How was it?
It was interesting to listen about the robots, as Osman was mentioning, difference between EV3 Mindstorm and Robots Inventor. And the very last slide he actually spoke about is very important, especially because for us and other communities, you need to know the pros and cons of both of technologies to know is it worth switching. And when Osman
Excellent.
mentioned a difference in processing power and how the sensors have been changed, that makes a big difference when you're trying to teach sensors and motors separately. But just from an education standpoint, that makes a very big difference to schools. So that was very helpful, and thank you, Osman, for talking about that. 'Cause I didn't know about Robot Inventor until you mentioned it.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you, Swan, and see you next time. So while we're here, we just say like our Facebook page. The address is given in the comment box because you will get notification about our next upcoming weekly shows and other more things we get share about new things about learning about technologies as well as to the STEM learning areas. Let's keep going and the our next segment. Let's see, Shan. Wow, we have a small interview with Richard Bransky, who don't know about him. He's a head teacher in a local TAFE in Campbelltown, and he's a big fan of robotics, as we learned about right now from the Usman. So let's see, he'll be a regular guest as well to talk about because robotics is one of the great STEM learning technology. Let's listen the interview we had with the Richard. Ask you very quickly, what's happening in terms of the learning robotics at the moment? What's the new trends coming? What's your experience? Because you are the guru in the area.
Well, hi, Ali. Nice to see you again. But coming back to robotics, well, so we didn't actually make a sort of much progress in the content as such. But what I noticed that we have to actually expand the area. So I think that the technology is developing, technology is expanding, so we have to actually follow that. So that means we have to look into other aspects or other tools, I should say, is not only Lego robotics, but also other sort of devices. One of them is Arduino, yes, so again, very popular, and it is a sort of a tool which is sort of a tool with increased opportunities, which has increased opportunities to implement more engineering into that and bit more electronics. Yes, so it's sort of something that again it will be worth to consider, worth to add, and also to expand the broad range of tools which could be used to promote STEM education. And in this case, we have to remember that the perhaps the best result or the best achievement could be actually obtained when we promote many different sort of options so people can actually see which direction to take. Now, fortunately, it happened that I feel this sort of getting broader and new sort of developments are being included, and it is sort of becoming a bit difficult to focus only on one area and try to attract all people to one.
So yeah, that's great. As you mentioned with the Lego and Arduino, and also mentioned that there more engineering and electronics are getting involved. I was trying to focus on from the learning point of view. If you use one student at home or a parents want to know where they should get started, what do you recommend?
Well, I think that at this stage, it will be just the best way to start will be to actually demonstrate some kind of simple but applied robotics, applied electronics, applied STEM education. So in this case, if we will have sort of all these fields merged together and create some kind of entertaining devices, obviously learning, but also entertaining devices that will spark interest, and in this case, students may be actually attracted to investigate more into that specific area. So I think that the actual learning about STEM education should start in primary school. That's my
excellent.
opinion.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. So this is a very interesting thing what you said, and I learned that you said there are different devices depends on where your learning is and what age they are in. So they are different, but you can start from primary. That's what you said, and there'll be a simpler devices, less engineering, less electronics, but more hands-on things and doing. And then they go high school, they will be having a little bit advanced. And when you develop your passion, then you find something that really designed for that passion. For example, you found out you want to make something in the area for a chemical industry, for example, and you focus on the devices which support more on those adds on to this. Is that correct, what I said?
Yes, yes. And I just noticed something that I'm actually verifying what we are promoting on this display in your background. It says primary, high school, and university students.
Yes.
Spot on. Spot on. That is actually what I support. I think that you've got a great sort of approach, and you've got also a path which will actually be successful, because if students will study in primary, they will have a consistent education. They will have a consistent, actually, opportunity to learn how all this knowledge can be applied at the higher level. Yes, so I think that what you got in the background is really very good statement.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Richard. It's always a pleasure to chat with you, and we'll see you again.
Yes, thank you, Ali.
That's great. We saw the interview with Richard. Now, with the next one is a very exciting uh, talk by Shan about CS50. I'm really looking forward to, because there are some other things we need to be learned, which I need to update about myself. Let's invite Shan. Shan, you ready to take CS first? Let me talk about
CS50.
a little bit about that. Just a second. Here we go. I want to say thank you for this segment. We have a sponsor, HTK, who are the fiber electrical data solution provider for this segment. And I leave that with you and Shan.
Okay, CS50. Welcome back, everyone. I'm going to be talking about CS50. Now, CS50, what's it all about? Moving on to the next slide. CS50 is basically... Okay, before I go on to CS50, I want to mention this. The question you should ask yourself sometimes, especially if you're a student like me who's in year 12, you're thinking about your career, you might be asking yourself, am I interested in coding? And then when you think about coding, you think to yourself, what are the things I would like to learn? When you think about coding, you think about coding languages such as Python, CSS, C++, JavaScript, etc. So you think to yourself, okay, if I want to learn about coding, if I want to get started with coding, I have to learn these languages. Then you also think about, well, then that also means I have to learn about how coding was done in the past, how coding has evolved over time. You also would have to know about how computers work. And these are questions you ask yourself. You also think to yourself, do I have the right mindset for coding? Will I enjoy coding? Am I going to be interested in coding? Because a lot of us, we like games, we like using our computer, we like using technology, but we don't know if coding's cut out for us. And that's a very important question I myself have to ask. And it would be great if there was actually a straightforward solution, or at least a guide, so that we can get a good introduction onto how coding is like. And that's where I came across CS50. So CS50, if we move on to the next slide, CS50 is basically a course designed by Harvard. It looks like the boxes got screwed up there, but basically it's a Harvard course that was made available online during COVID-19. And in this course, people learn about coding, computer science, and how computers work in general. Now, what's interesting, or what you need to take into understanding, is that CS50 is basically a university introduction course that was designed by Harvard, and that was made available online for free. Meaning, if you want to get a glimpse of what computer science is like, you can access this course right now. As we speak, you can access the course, learn about computer science, and see how it's like learning computer science at university. So on the next slide, I think I talk a little bit more about this. So how do we access CS50? Surprisingly, it's all on YouTube. There's a full playlist on YouTube. I'll ask someone to quickly share it in the comments as well if they can. That the CS50, the whole course is on YouTube. Just search it up, CS50 Harvard, and you'll learn about Scratch, you'll learn about C, you'll learn about stuff like arrays, algorithms. It's all in the playlist. And this gives you just a glimpse of what coding is like. Now, in the past week, I tried to go through one of the lectures. I spent my time. I went to the first lecture, which was lecture 0, Scratch. And just quickly flop to the next slide. I just wrote some notes. So what do I think of it? First of all, massive thumbs up. In CS50, you learn about the history of computers, how we've evolved from ASCII, why we use ASCII, to stuff like Unicode, why we start using Unicode. And you might be asking me, what's ASCII? What's Unicode? In the first 10 minutes of this YouTube video, of the CS50 lecture, you'll actually learn about this stuff. And you learn about the history of computers, how computers have worked. You also get a very simple and straightforward understanding of what you need to know about computers as a coder, as a consumer, as a, let's say, even an engineer. And the cost is 0. You don't have to pay a single dollar because it's all on YouTube for free. On top of that, it's actually a fun course. Even if you're a beginner or you just want to know how computers work for fun, this is a fun course. It's the first lecture is only about 2 hours, and in the first lecture, I learned about for loops, I learned about while loops, I learned about Scratch, how we can use Scratch. I learned about Unicode, ASCII, and I can just keep listing things one by one. So you learn a lot just in about 1 or 2 hours. On top of that, this is an actual uni course, and it was recorded inside a university. So if you're thinking of going to university and learning about coding, this actually gives you a glimpse of what it's like to actually learn computer science, what it's like to actually learn software engineering. Other than that, I highly recommend this for high school students, such as you or me, because for us, a course like this actually teaches us a lot about coding, and it also gives us an idea of what we're going to be learning and where we can apply this. The full course has a playlist. We've shared it through the comments. And once again, just remember this though. And I've heard the feedback from many software engineers, from many computer science experts. This course is a great course just to get started. But you have to understand what matters if you want to advance forward in your own learning career, in your own pathway of life in general. You have to understand that you have to do a lot of hands-on learning, and you actually need to do a lot more independent learning, because this will only give you a surface level understanding of everything you want to know about computer science. Beyond this, you'll actually have to spend time, research, learn different languages, and apply them yourself. And that's what I thought about CS50 and what it is.
Excellent. I got a couple of questions. It's really
Yeah.
great. So what I learned is the Harvard University is actually doing a community work to providing all the resources for the computer science, and it has a full playlist. I have two quick questions.
Yes.
One, I learned that is a free because it's on a YouTube. The
Yep.
second one is, so you said this covers the Scratch. It's so they go in a sequence, or you can just branch it out what you want to learn.
You can just jump to certain sections. That's why I mentioned that this is because some software engineers, some computer science experts, they say you don't even need this course to get started, but this course gives you a lot better understanding of everything that you want to learn about. So yes, you can jump to certain parts, but
The
it's
second
best to go in
question,
this order.
sorry to interrupt you. The second
Yeah.
question I want to ask is that once I learn something, where I'm going to apply? Do they provide that platform too?
Now on here, during the week I only went through the first 1 or 2 lectures, so I didn't see exactly where they went forward in terms of application, and that's why I mentioned that caveat at the very bottom. When it comes to application, you're gonna have to actually learn yourself and apply it on your own,
Okay.
and this gives you an understanding.
So it's not a workshop style; it's more like a lecture style.
Yep, exactly. It's more like
We'll
lecture
leave it
style.
with
It is
you
lecture
and
style.
learn more about it and see what you get out of it, so we can guide other people how to make use of it. While you're
Yeah.
here, I want to remind everyone we have a great YouTube channel. The link is given there as well, and so please do subscribe, because more you get connected, the quicker you know, and you won't be missing out anything. So the link is given in the comment box. And that's great, Shan. Thank you very much. And now we invite Xavier with the announcements, sponsored by Z Sports, who provides martial art gears for the boxing, MMA, fitness, and the martial art gears. They're right in the Sydney, and they are there for like more than 15 years, providing their service to the community. Because we need STEM is all about science, technology, engineering, and math, but also every great head need a strong body to support it. So you need to be physically strong as well. So soon we will have some exciting news from Xavier. And let's bring the Xavier up. So here we go.
Okay, so we have two very exciting announcements. The first one is that we are going to start a weekly coding and robotic class, which will be on weekends. Parent info will be given out as soon as we decide on what day, either Saturday or Sunday, preferably Saturday. And it will be a weekly program for one creative voucher or $100 as always. So you can enroll. But the second announcement also links to this, our new holiday program. So the weekly sessions and the workshops that we do in the holidays will be released next week, but the dates will be decided. But it will be the same workshops that we held last holidays, which will be on the Young Innovators page. And that's it for this week's announcements.
Thank you, Xavier. You're really great. Hopefully, you'll get your camera soon and get fixed. Excellent. So we got a great name coming up. We say hello and welcome to the show as well. Thank you very much. So that's great. So for first one is great to know we are starting our weekly classes soon, and you get all the skills. By the way, if you want to join the club, who is presenting this, you can join the our team as well. You can contact us through any of the. We sharing our email is the best way to start with, which is y52470@gmail.com. We're going to share that. The second announcement is our holiday program is also coming soon as well. So stay tuned and like our Facebook page and subscribe to our channel. And I think that's about it. We're going to share our all of the social media contacts here, so you know what are the other ways you can get. We have a great website. We use all of the social media things because that's the way to go. Our number is given there as well. You can ring us, and as I said, the email is the best way to there. And we'll see you next week, same time. I will bring our all teammates here to say thank you to Sean and Usman and Xavier. And we want to say thank you on behalf of, there's a great team behind. I want to say thank you to Mohammed, who's been supporting at the back. And we had a Hadia, she also been part of the team in the back, and Shamin and Shazeen. So that was a great. So for the last 1 minute, if you want to add anything, otherwise we say goodbye from my side. So Shan, how did you go today?
That was good. I was, because of these weekly sessions in the club, I was able to actually dedicate more time towards learning something new and then presenting it for other people in the club. So that's another, advantage.
So
for
that's
me
the
being here.
idea. So you guys, while you're in a club, it gives you an opportunity to focus on something, research and present. So that will add your leadership skill. How was your experience, Usman?
I think it was a great idea to do this, and first time. So there were a few mess ups, but I think we did pretty good, and I'm happy with
Excellent. We will learn from it. Absolutely. That's the way to go. Yeah. How about you, Xavier? What you think?
It's a good way to get into the community and make them more interactive with us, and it was good. For first time, we did it in 2 hours, which was pretty amazing with the outcome we
Absolutely.
came out
Spot
with.
on. I mean, I really say. So people who are watching, they watch it till the end. We finish this right on time. It's 29 minutes and 19 seconds. So we'll finish in 30 minutes. But the whole show from scratch, we prepared in 2 hours, which is like a big achievement. So that's great. Thank you very much, everyone who joined and other people. So we just say bye from our side and stay tuned, stay safe, and keep learning.